And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to something a little bit different here. It's been a while. It's been almost a year. That's been like, what, 8 months? It's been a while. But welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another edition here, to another season of the Tenacious Turtle Tussle, the TTT number 33. Yeah. It's been far too long, but we are here. We are back, and we are jumping into our first series of the broadcast. Exclamation mark, be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back yourselves, as we are jumping into our first best of 3 here in the round 16. As morning in the bottom left hand corner, we have our Green Protoss, our Green Protoss player. It is a Dribble. And spawning in the top right hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the yellow Terran representing Eximius Gaming. It is INexorable. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our best of 3. For those that may be a little bit newer to the channel, for those that maybe have never seen a Turtle Tussle before, this is a tournament that we used to run on a regular basis, every 2 weeks, every fortnight, a bi-weekly tournament, if you will. We did run during the off season of last year's EWC, and as the name was that insinuates, we were only live with this event during the off season. Once EWC came back around, that's when we did stop. That's when we did slow things down, and we focused on the Esports World Cup, on the circuit, on Star Zagora, on DreamHack, on all the events that were transpiring at the time. But now that we're once again in the off season, now we can once again step into the ring with our bi-weekly tournaments to make sure that we have, of course, events for players to compete in on a regular basis. So we do have our we have our Tuna Cup, which is more catered towards the European and Korean friendly time zone. Meanwhile, the Turtle Tussle is a little bit more towards the American, to the Americas, North America, Latino America, and Korean friendly time zone as well. Similar time to the Pegasus Cup, of course, very similar, except this is an hour earlier, so a little bit more friendly towards the Europeans, a little bit more than Pegasus Cup, for example. But yeah, so last week here we are back. Time to Turtle Tussles. Beautiful. Aye. Hold on as I set up our player names here. One moment. Bam, beautiful. Likewise, on top of that, as all of our tournaments have been over the past couple of weeks, welcome to the TLMC21 map pool. Let's go, baby, let's go. Welcome to the Old Republic. We've featured this map before. Of course, the Old Republic does have a secure 3-base setup here, with your natural, with your third base, as the first probe is going to go down. Nice pick over the Reaper. Likewise, there's a ramp coming into the natural. It can be opened up as time goes on, as the map does progress. But what is the most important thing about the Old Republic here is how difficult it is to take a fourth. The low ground fourth base and the linear fourth base are very spread out. They're very far apart. They're also much more exposed, much more open, and very, very difficult to turtle up and to defend. It goes both ways, but we expect to see aggression out of our Terran player here, out of INexorable. Behind this, we do have our CC on the high ground. Was a double gas opener, double gas into a faster factory, faster starport, delayed CC out of our Terran player into faster tech, and we'll see where this leads. This can lead into initially a Widowmine drop, can lead into Banshee play. Keep an eye on INexorable. I should also emphasize that this event, another reason why it's only being run in the off-season, is because this event is sponsored by a very generous and very passionate fan in the chat. So a big shout out to Mike BT for sponsoring and for allowing for this event to occur. This event is not actually funded by our Patreon. We have a Patreon that has been growing quite steadily over time, and our Patreon does fund our other tournaments like SDO, MSO, and Tuna Cup, but not this event. This event is separately funded, I should say, just to be transparent. Eternal Empire 2, kind of. I would say that on Eternal Empire, the fourth base was more secure. Here it is much more exposed. Like, it's much more difficult to actually maintain a fourth. There we go. Jump into the natural. Widowmine does come in. And so far, Decent Connections getting 2 probe kills so far. Yeah, 2 workers. Does target fire. Ooh. That's INexorable. Does pull away in time. Does pull away. Getting 3 probes in total. Not bad. He pulls back behind this, getting into bio. Extra racks is going to be on the way. I should also emphasize, and it may come into play during this game, as we have a blink-based opener out of our Protoss player. Everything's looking normal from the side of Triple, but we did have a bounce patch. We had a bug fix patch earlier today, a couple of hours ago even, so we do have an updated version of the game. Really, it was a minor patch. Oh, Maestro goes off. 4 probes go down. The reaction there from Triple, unfortunate there. And with that, INexorable, this drop has paid for itself. It has paid for itself here so far. 7 probe kills in total. Very nice damage by our Terran. And behind this, we're building up into an eventual move out. Do you see what I see? I see an extra wave of Raxes on the way. eBay for +1. Stim is in production as well. And we'll see how hard this hits. Basically, INexorable has a choice to make. He can either throw down 2 more Raxes or a 3rd CC. Does he commit into a 2-base all-in, or does he expand? So we'll keep an eye on INexorable. Triple does move out. So behind this, going for his Bay, going for Colossus production. But I was touching on it. So there was a bug fix patch today, which fixed a lot of bugs, but did have a little bit of balance changes as well. 2 major changes, of course, was the Ghost. The Ghost now has increased HP a little bit more than before. I believe, I haven't done the math, but I believe it should be surviving an extra Colossus wave or a Colossus volley. Likewise, Storm is a little bit weaker, does a little bit less damage over time. Ooh, as we do tank those tank shots. Okay, let's go. This nation does tank the shots. We should be diving on the tank itself. There we go, does blink in. Tank is going to go down. Late to pull the boys to repair. Marines are coming in to punish. Liberator has arrived, and these Stalkers are going down. Yeah, this is an expensive trade here from a Triple. Taking out a lot of Stalkers. Oh god, no, he can't get out. Yeah, a little bit of miscontrol here. He is going to be trapped. The Liberator will clean up, and the Prism will not survive. I spoke too soon. There's a recall. Never mind. does recall back home. Just barely. On 1 HP, man. 1 HP. Does recall, does make it back. This is a very late 3rd base here for Triple. So late 3rd expansion, was very committed himself. And here comes the move out. Now, on the one hand, this move out is looking quite hefty. There's a lot of Marauders, Marines, we have our tanks. Stim is done, of course, +1 should finish up in the middle of the fight. +1 attack, I mean. But there should be a Colossus. The first Colossus is about to pop out. It's going to be enough there. There's a scan. Colossus is revealed. He casts it with the ramp. He's going for the dive. Colossus should be barely safe. Oh, no pickup. Yeah, miscontrol there from Triple, and he's done it. He's done it. He breaks through, takes out the pylons, depowers everything at the natural. And then INexorable, he has done it. I was curious if maybe Triple could defend the natural base with his Colossus, but no shot. He was cool with his pants down, and there's nothing left. There's nothing here. There's a handful of Blink Stalkers. The 3rd base, it's not going to be a factor. Charge is denied. And with that, he does take down the Nexus. The Nexus does fall. Storm is 30 less hull damage. Yes. So DPS has been lowered, and it was already lowered before. Goes down. Nice pickoff. INexorable, he does a rally across the map. I think what I appreciate the most, as Triple's been broken. Triple, he has been broken. He's gonna be chased down. He's down to 3 Stalkers, down to 2, down to 1. Yeah, 1 Stalker left. Let's go. Triple, he throws down a wall of gateways. It's very ambitious, man. Let's go. As with this final push, we should be able to clean up and deny these gateways. GG gets called, and INexorable will take game number 1. GG. GG will play, does take a lead in the series. Again, Triple, he had potential with his blink harass into the main base, but he lost everything as a problem. As I mentioned, it's meant to be harass. You're meant to go in, pick up a couple of key units, and then get out. But if you remember, what did Triple do? He blinked in, killed the tank, killed some Marines, and then kept pushing further into the main base, which cost him everything. Once he lost his army, he lost all the momentum, he lost map control, and in the end, lost the game. GG. GG, well played. GG, well played. INexorable does take lead in the series, and we're getting ready for game number 2. Right, so the hands were down. What I was gonna say is, what I love about the patch that just released is that they're still working with the overall like change that they committed to, and still trying to find like some, obviously working with what they have. So what I mean by that is the ghost is still light. The ghost is still light, but has increased HP. So as I mentioned before, ideally is going to be surviving extra Baneling connections and extra Colossus swipe. I feel like the Colossus swipe is the most important thing, but they're not reverting like the light tag change. They're still just committing to that, just trying to help it in a different way. Likewise, same with the Storm change, with Storm doing less DPS, but still having the longer duration, right? Still having that zoning potential. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm still not fond of the zoning tool that the Storm has now become, just because... so we do have our next game. Just because I do feel like it is just stronger when it comes to turtling up and zoning. So that's still a concern that I have. But the problem here, now that it's doing less DPS, is that now Banelings, they were already surviving thanks to the extra HP. They were already surviving storms and making it through. Now they're surviving storms with even more HP to make it through to get on top of the High Templar. I would love to kind of see that, to see how much HP the Banelings do have making it through a storm now, because that is gonna, again, make like Lingbane Roach Ravager or Lingbane Hydra more viable. It was already more viable now thanks to the HP buff. They were already surviving storms. Now surviving storms with even more HP, now more viable to kind of break through that defensive line and to all in a player. So there's still going to be a lot of strength in that. Here we go. Here we go. So now getting into our next game. Now jumping again into and spawning in the bottom left hand corner of a Celestial Enclave. Oh, we got here, pal. Let's go. We have the green Protoss player, the green Protoss himself. It is a triple. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the yellow Terran player, with the yellow Terran himself from the land of Brazil, representing Zemia's Gaming. It is INexorable. We go. As we get to cast it let's go for the first time. Not the first time that Celestial Enclave has been picked throughout the course of our tournaments, but the first time that we're going to be casting it here. And I'm excited. If you recall, this map did receive the highest rating out of any map in the TLMC21 from our judges. If you recall, I think I gave this a 4. I want to say I gave this a 4. If you want, you can check out the VOD, of course, going through all the maps, going through our kind of thought process. The VODs are over on YouTube. When it comes to Celestial Enclave, we do have a pocket base. Now, it is a reduced base with less minerals and only one gas geyser. Bear that in mind. There's a mineral wall going straight into the 4th location. Bearing in mind, you can use this to expand a little bit faster at the 4th location. You can also use this to actually pull workers away. So if there's harassment, if there's a run by, then you can actually pull your workers to safety. Bearing in mind that this is a wall that, or this is a pathway that can only be traversed by workers. Lings, Marines, Zelts cannot actually get through this, as you can't mine this out. Just as a heads up, we have our linear 3rd. It looks like we're going to be holding off on the pocket base until it's 4th or 5th base. For now, going to be expanding forward here. There is a ramp coming into the natural, so the natural is very secure. There are rocks, destructible rocks here on the left-hand side. This will delay your player from actually expanding forward and taking this 4th base or taking this 3rd base. Only melee, though, only will delay. And we do have our follow-up expansions here towards the top side as well. Now, these bases are spread out enough where even if you take the forward base, the base behind it is still going to be exposed to run-bys and counterattacks. This is a feature that we were looking for quite heavily when it comes to TLMC21, just because maps that allowed for a very secure setup like Throne of Dunes looked upon less favorably, of course, as it just promoted more turtle-heavy play on 5 bases. Celestial Enclave did it right, Fabi, did it right. For now, it is going to be a Stargate opener. Interesting. So Stargate opener out of triple, opening up with Oracle into Phoenix, or just straight up Phoenix first. We'll see how hard he commits to said Phoenix play. Likewise, when it comes to the scouting, INexorable, he fails to get into the main base, is unaware as to what's going on. That's one of the downsides here, of course, is that because of the terrain, there is no direct path into the main when it comes to Reaper scouting. So Reaper scouting is going to be more difficult as the scouting path is a lot more direct, easier to deny. But it goes both ways. At the same time, the main base is also very secure against Blink Stalker play, as there's no cliff face into the main either. So there's a give and take there, harder Reaper scouting, but also 4-gate Blink or 3-gate Blink aggression is almost non-existent, as you have to go through the natural to get into the main. I guess technically you can try to Blink here into the pocket, I guess. For now, this is going to be a Phoenix opener, no Oracles. Reaper Hellion does move out. Also, I finally see pros accidentally killing their own hatcheries late game. I don't think I've ever seen a pro player kill their own hatchery with Vipers. I'll be honest. I'm sure it's happened. I'm sure it's happened. But it's not something that is fresh in my mind, I should say. But I do agree it is a nice quality of life change. Like, it's the equivalent of like stim, right? Where you cannot stim your Marines to death. You can bring them down to 1 HP, but they won't kill themselves. So it's kind of like a very similar change to that. Where you can't kill your own units with stim, so I guess now you can't kill your own units with Vipers or kill your own buildings. Oh. Sphinx is 8 in. You see Triple getting his own third. It does opt to go for the pocket expansion. I feel like ideally, as I mentioned before, you do want to keep this and hold on to this until you take it as a 4th base. But for now, he's taking his pocket. Seen every pro duel at least once. Okay. I don't know, maybe during the EU weeklies, because I don't watch those, but yeah. Don't think it's something I've seen before. Maybe I've seen Reyna do it. It sounds like something that Reyna would do. Maybe. No. For now, we do have a follow-up, so it's going to be Phoenixes into charge. This is the typical kind of transition that you want to be going for, just because Blink Stalkers have the same role as Phoenixes, which is deny drop play, which is contain the opponent. Likewise, because the map is so large, I would say that we can go into Colossus a little bit faster. Yep, the bay is done. Colossus production has begun. Building up into our Colossi. Oh, meanwhile, it looks like the predictions weren't actually opened properly. I guess better late than never. Predictions are open. Open in the chat. And this is something that we assumed would be happening when it comes to the meta of TvP. I mean, it's a little bit different just because it was a Stargate opener.
Done. Let's hope you click the right one.
TB. But it was a Stargate opener, but we do have a second starport on the way. So double starport mass Viking production. This will help against the Phoenixes, will help against the Colossus. We are going to be opting to delay the Ghost Academy for this. And likewise, no third expansion either. No third CC yet. Here comes the move out, spotted by the Observer. Triple is aware. And back on what do we have to defend? We have 1 Colossus so far. There's going to be 2. So second Colossus should pop out in time. It's going to be that second Colossi. Charge is complete. So there's going to be no +1. How many Vikings do we have? 9. 9 Vikings so far, but they're still on the way. Colossi to engage. For now, just focusing on the Phoenixes. And then surely has to pull away. So far, nice pickoffs. The other downside of this composition here with Outblink Stalkers is that the anti-air to deal with the Vikings are lessened. So there's less anti-air, there's only a handful of Stalkers. Not as much maneuverability. So these Vikings have a lot of potential. Yeah, they have potential, they focus on the Phoenixes. 1 Phoenix left, now going for the Colossus. Marines, they try to kite as best they can, but the Colossus, they get so many swipes of. There we go, 1 Colossus finally goes down. GG gets called. Yeah, 2 Marines go down to the Colossi, and Triple ties up the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played. Again, the Vikings eventually got on top of the Colossus, but as you saw, so many swipes went off, so many Marines went down in the process. And remember, there was no third CC. We did point that out, that we had opted to go for a second starport, 2 base all in, no third CC, no follow-up. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going to the ace match here. We're going all the way to game number 3. A little bit of a shame that we didn't get to experience a longer game on Celestial Enclave. One day, maybe one day, but we got to see it for the first time. Just never took a third. Smooch, baby, smooch. But GG, well played. With that, we're going into our ace match. And where are we dropping? Where are we headed? I missed Dark. Yes, if you missed it. Oh. Beautiful. If you missed it, Dark, he posted, was it last week? I think he posted last week. Dark, he hit #1 on the green ladder, which was really cool. For those that are unaware, Dark, he very often posts his ladder accolades. Even though he's in the military, even though he's, of course, on hiatus from competitive play, he still ladders. Still plays the game. He's crazy, man. He's crazy. It was actually during, I think it was during Lily Cup. It was during Lily Cup last week, where I did notice, I was like, hey, Dark is laddering at the moment. Okay, that's cool. And then it was like after Lily Cup finishes, I checked social media and he hit #1. It's like, oh, okay. There you go. So it was during the League Cup, but here we go. We're getting into the ace match and spawning in the bottom side of Mothership, our new 3-player spawn map, where we have the green Protoss player tying up the series 1-1 and forcing the ace match. It is a triple. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Brazilian Terran player. We have the yellow Terran representing Simius Gaming. It is INexorable. Here we go, and welcome one and all to Mothership again. This is the new 3-player spawn map. Now again, there were multiple 3-player spawn maps submitted to TLMC21, but this was the highest rated one. The other had its own issues, was a little more open, smaller as well, more aggressive. It had its own issues, but here it's a lot more of a larger 3-player spawn map. I would say that you have a very secure 3-base setup here. You have your natural, you have your third base. Originally the natural base was more exposed. The gas geyser was on the top side, the minerals were on the top side, and there was actually a tank spot here that could actually hit the gases and minerals as well. But of course we did provide some feedback, and in the end they were able to maneuver the gases to the other side and move the minerals over as well and fix up the natural base so it can no longer be abused in such a way. When it comes to our third base here, we do have a wider ramp on the left-hand side. We have some rocks here to minimize the surface area or the kind of arc that you can have at the third base. There's basically one entrance here in between your third and your natural that you have to hold on to, and then you can expand linearly here towards the left-hand side in towards your fourth. So the 4-base setup here is pretty standard, it's pretty secure. We've seen players turtle up on 4 bases already. Beyond, of course, comes to mind in his series. So you have your 4-base setup. When it comes to your other expansions, though, they're a little bit more spread out, a little bit more exposed, getting a 5th base, getting a 6th base as well. I think this is our second time casting Mothership. Oh, these are also like buildings that, or I say buildings, like objects that do deny like tank positioning here. We're added. But INexorable scouts top right. He will eventually find his opponent. Does find triple. Once again, Stargate opener out of our green Protoss. Reaper goes in. Gets a purple ready. Gets a probe, pulls away. Oof, as Reaper is going to be shut down, and once again, no scout into the main. A little bit unfortunate there, as we do not quite confirm the tech of choice. So Phoenix is moving out, INexorable's in the dark. But that is a very fast eBay here, rushing into +1, rushing into a 3-rax. Ooh, this is going to hit quite hard. So this is a little bit old school, rushing into a 3-rax. If you remember, a way to hard counter this was Robo openers back in the day, going Robo, going into early Colossus production. But remember, this is a Stargate opener into Robo, and I would say that this is meant to almost hard counter Stargate play. What can Phoenixes do in this position? They can lift up 1 Marine at a time. And it's Mass Marine, right? It's Mass Marine with a couple of Marauders. Now, the reason why we're mixing in some Marauders is because he's not aware of what's going on. I would say Marines are more valuable right now, as he will now confirm. The real Phoenix, not fake. Hoping he knows it's real. True, he doesn't confirm. Phoenix breaks in. Phoenix confirms, and now triple knows. Yeah, shield batteries, pylons. It's going to be a difficult defense for triple. More Phoenixes are amassing. Going into Marauders like this is typically your response if it is a Twilight Council opener. And now he knows. Yeah, now he's aware. SCV is going to be going down. Marine's trying to keep up. Now he's pushing. He is moving out. Behind this, there is going to be the 1 safety Immortal. Thanks to the scouting, of course, an Immortal is going to be made. Otherwise, it would have been skipped. So shield battery, Immortal. We do have extra pylons on the way. We need those warp ins. So far, just 2 gateways. And INexorable's army gets spotted. Phoenixes are going to be a non-factor. The Immortal has arrived. There is no charge. Fury can break through. He goes in, he gets 1, he gets 2 zealots so far. The boys are being pulled, and I mean, there's not much to defend here. Should kill, should take down every single probe. Yeah, the probes are going to fall. We're running out of Marines. Phoenixes they can lift, and triple he's holding. Triple he does hold. But at a cost. At a cost of 15 workers. No, lose the Immortal. Immortal goes down as well. And behind this, where's the third? There's no third expansion. Triple, he's stuck on 2 bases. He has a worse economy. And INexorable starts up his own 3rd CC. 3rd CC is on the way. 2nd Starport as well. Once again, going to Mass Viking. Going into Mass Vikings. And who do we favor in this position here? I mean, on the one hand, triple survives. True. He survived the aggression. He survived the 3-rax. That is true, but at the same time, he didn't expand. He didn't get a 3rd base. INexorable does have a better economy. Does have a faster 3rd. So getting into a longer game state, I do favor INexorable, but I also recognize that there is going to be a big power spike here with the first 2 Colossus. As we're going for a Storm on 2 bases as well. Oh. This I'm not too fond of here. Just a really late 3rd. It's not apparent yet, but once the 3rd base kicks in, once an INexorable lands and saturates his 3rd base, he should skyrocket ahead supply-wise. He should be able to skyrocket ahead. Triple's play tells me that it looks like he's scared of an all-in. Like, he's scared that a 2nd all-in is getting ready. Unfortunately, he never rescouted. Yeah, he never saw the 3rd, so he doesn't know, right? Triple is playing blind. He's playing blind. He's assuming that another all-in is coming. I say that. Looks like he's going for his own, actually. Building up disruptors. The prism is out, which means he can push. Okay. I mean, hey, he's still on 2 bases. Still very committed. And INexorable was getting ready. So thankfully, because of the scouting, he's throwing down his bunkers. Viking production has begun. It's still not going to be an easy hold. But if he can survive this, then INexorable, he'll run away with this game. Third base that just now began. Now he's committing, now he's moving in. The Vikings are just now popping out. And the bunkers, they do tank. Yeah, they tank a lot of shots. Colossus are moving in. But nice spread, nice concave, and INexorable, he holds. He holds, he shuts us down. Doesn't kill any Colossus though, but he does survive. And now he can enjoy his third. So here, again, we spoke about it, but INexorable, he is in a much better position. He's ahead in supply, ahead in army. Good bit first maxed out, has a better economy. Triple was essentially all in, and now Triple falls behind. He falls behind quite heavily. Now, there is a world where INexorable takes a bad fight. If the Vikings are out of position, if the Colossus get extra hits in, if Storm finishes and we land some juicy connections, like there's definitely a chance for Triple to win some engagements, but he is heavily reliant on INexorable making mistakes, right? He's reliant on the Terran player just messing up, making mistakes. Otherwise, INexorable should just run away with this game. He's up to 10 Vikings. Ay, ay, ay. Ghost production has begun. INexorable should just be pushing with his first 3 ghosts. Just wait for the first 3 ghosts, then commit. I say that. Looks like he wants to start up 2-2. Now, if INexorable is too passive, then he can allow his opponent to recover in this game. That's also a possibility here. It's only if he's too passive. Ghosts have arrived. 2-2 can soon begin. There's a 4th CC. And now he's pushing. So there's still only 3 Colossus. No Disruptor. There's a scan. We're up to 16 Jesus. 16 Vikings. Remember, there's no blink. I want to see the Vikings lead. Yeah, it does lead the charge. He can almost one-shot Colossus. Gets 1. There's 2 Colossus left. And nice EMP as well. The EMP on the Archons. The Vikings, they can just go to town. And now we can land the Vikings. Now we can land, and now we can shut this down. Again, there's just no army standing. As we mentioned, Triple, he was essentially 2 base all in. He failed to break his opponents, and then INexorable just snowballs from there. Just snowballs out of control. Again, the one chance for Triple was for INexorable to miscontrol the army, but nah, it was fine. Controlled well. Like, if he had gone too far forward with the ground army, then maybe. If the Vikings were lagging behind. But outside of that, we can just sim. We can sim. We can win. God. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Maybe that isn't enough. No, that's us. Oh, God. Jesus. What? We're right here. No. Am I crazy? Are we good? Oh. Okay. Stream is fine. Stream is fine. But yeah, with that INexorable, he does push through. He breaks into the natural. GG gets called. And INexorable takes the series 2-1, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. GG, well played. Bad just dying on us a little bit. Feels bad on that, man. But GG, well played. Congratulations. INexorable does claim the series at 2-1. And Triple, he had potential here, but as we mentioned, Triple, he chose not to expand, but he made that decision because he had incomplete information. Remember, he never saw the third CC, so it looked like he was getting ready for a second 2-base all-in. Right after the initial 3 racks, it looks like he was just anticipating another wave, another push, some more aggression that never came because INexorable expanded. He expanded, took a third base, and Triple fell further and further behind. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to INexorable, does claim the series, and now let's catch up on the bracket. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed. Let's go.